Okay, it says I'm live. So, hi everybody. Welcome to today's episode. I'm Adina Riel. And today I wanted to share with you guys the 4 pillars to creating your dream career. And before I do that, I just want to I want to kind of talk about what does that even mean? Like, what does it even mean to have a dream career? And usually, I mean, you guys know this if you know we've been in touch for a while, that the way that I measure if something is a dream career or not, and I really encourage you guys to sort of like use the same criteria, is number one, does it inspire? Does it inspire me? Does it meet my need for passion? Is it something that I'm excited to get up in the morning and work on? Number two, does it feel on purpose for me? And there's a little bit of a difference there, although obviously they're related, because to me, passion is more related to like how excited I am to do this, how much like enthusiasm I feel about it. But purpose is like how much am I internally aligned with this work, right? So that's the second thing, is purpose. And number three is, of course, paycheck. And that is also related, right? Because if something is not paying you enough, if you feel like you're underpaid and you're not, you're doing all this work that you're really excited about, but it doesn't afford you the lifestyle that you want, and you can't live your life at the level that inspires you and makes you feel amazing, then that's not going to inspire you for a long time, or there's always going to be some dissonance there, even if it is very inspiring and meaningful work. Okay. So that was kind of like, that was like an introduction to what are we even talking about when we're talking about a dream career. And I want you to remember that, because I think that it can be a little bit of a nebulous term. It can be like what I feel, as a professional in this field, as somebody who does coach people on this, and as somebody who, I call what I do professional lifestyle design. But I do feel like it's a little bit of an overused term, and people don't really know what they mean when they say it. And that's actually going to relate to one of our first pillars. So the thing is, a lot of people want something better, right? There are a lot of people, like, there's a stat, I'm not sure how much it is today, but at least in 2019, that was like 80% of people in the US are dissatisfied with their careers, which is insane. It's like, oh my goodness, so many people are unhappy doing the thing that they spend most of their waking hours doing. And like, if you add that up, that comes out to be most of your life, right? So to me, like, when I hear that, I don't know. I mean, that's just a crazy stat. And so a lot of people do, they want something better. They feel like they want to have, like, they feel like they deserve better. They feel like they're kind of whatever they're doing now, they're kind of settling with it. And the thing is, a lot of times they don't know how to go about it. So why is it that so many people are dissatisfied with their jobs, with their careers, and yet that stat is not something that we see like really changing, right? It's not like everybody, like, one year feels dissatisfied with their work, and the next year, oh, all those people like fixed it. No, like, you you're in this situation because for a really long time you've been settling, for a really long time you've been unsatisfied. And so one of the reasons I feel is that people don't really know what to focus on. They don't know what is important when they're trying to build out their dream career. And that's what I wanted to cover with you today, because it doesn't actually have to be that complicated. It actually doesn't have to be so, like, as difficult as we make it. And that's not to say that it's like easy peasy, like you just snap your fingers and you have it. Obviously, like anything worth having, this is something that you need to work for, and you need to be willing to work hard for it. So I'm not trying to like sugarcoat this, but I do think that we do tend to overcomplicate it. And I see this a lot. Like, people are in a job that they hate, and they're thinking about what they want, and they start like they're spinning their wheels for so long in the same place. They're trying to plan out like, 100 or 200 moves into the future, and they haven't even made the first move. Like, they haven't even taken the first step. And so I think one of the things that really helps is to understand, okay, first I need to do this, then I need to do this, then I need to do this. And when you know what to focus on at each point, when you know like what you need to pay attention to, that actually really helps you take action. It really helps you like actually do the things that you need to be doing, rather than being like overwhelmed and not really knowing, waking up and not really knowing, how am I gonna make progress towards my dream career today? And you end up not doing anything. You're like, okay, whatever, let's just watch Netflix, or let's just surf on Facebook, or whatever, right? And then you end up just wasting time and doing things that aren't getting you there. They're not furthering your progress. Okay, so here is the very first pillar. The first thing that you absolutely must have dialed in before you even start anything. And it's a little bit of an ironic statement, because it is starting. That is the starting point. The first thing that you must do is to know what it is that you want. You need to have extreme clarity. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because a lot of people think that having extreme clarity means like exactly how everything is going to play out. Exactly how every step of the way should look like. Exactly, to the last detail what your dream career is going to be. And the truth is, that's not how it works, right? That's not what I mean when I'm talking about know what you want. When we're talking about having clarity around your dream career, what that means is have a solid direction, right? Like have a good direction. Get as many of the specifics that are important to you as you can down, right? Like don't let any kind of hangups get in the way of defining what you want. So what I mean by that is, sometimes we see people come into our programs and or in our coaching. They think they don't know what they want. In reality, they know so much more, but they're holding it back. They're not admitting it to their spouses or the people around them, sometimes to us, their coaches, and sometimes they're not admitting it to themselves because they're afraid that it's not possible for them. So they want something, they do know what they want, but they don't believe that it's possible. And so they're trying to shelf it and it doesn't work. Okay. Like it's that thing that keeps bugging you. Like, what if I tried this? What if I did try this? And that is the exact thing that you don't want to be thinking like on your deathbed. Like, oh, what if I had tried it? What if it could have worked? Right. So having that clarity means, allowing yourself to fill in as much detail as you can, but not being obsessed with the parts that you don't know, right? Just really feeling comfortable and confident that it's gonna work out to the best, in the best way possible, and that the parts that today are not so clear to you, you're gonna like render that in later as you make your moves. And all you have to do really is like be decisive about it. Like all you really have to do is know what it is that you want, and then like know what it is that you want, which means it's not this like intellectual knowing, like, oh, I know I want a job in this industry with, this and the salary, and working on such and such topics, right? But also like knowing in your body, knowing it with every fiber of your being that that's what you're going to do, and that that's where you're going. Okay. And that brings me to the next pillar. And the next pillar is believing that you can have it. So they kind of do go hand in hand. It's very hard for most people to define what they want when they don't believe that they can have it. Like they kind of talk, they don't really get that level of clarity that you need when they don't believe that they can have it, which is why a lot of times it's like a two-step, like a stepwise process where we go, okay, get some clarity. We see that you're stuck here. We see that you're holding back. Let's unpack that. Let's see what's holding you back. Let's see, like, what is the limiting belief, right? What's the thought that's holding you back about this? Why don't you think that you can do this, that you deserve to do this, that it's likely for you to do this, whatever. And then once we resolve that, we can go back to defining even more clarity, right? Until we hit a wall again, and then we take that apart, right? And then so we keep doing that. And so those first two pillars, they go hand in hand, in tandem. Now, the third pillar is follow a simple strategy, and it has to be simple. Now, I don't want to be misleading here because I think, like, you do need to pay attention to the details, right? The devil's in the details, and all the way that you execute whatever strategy you're following to getting what you want. You need to reach a certain level of mastery of it in order for that to really work. Like it does take work, but it does, like, I do find that there are some things out there that are they're too complicated. There are strategies out there for, let's say, getting a promotion in your, let's say, like, you are at your current job, you want to get promoted to a certain thing, you realize that's your dream job. There are some strategies out there that are really, like, roundabout. If you want to start a business, there are a lot of strategies out there that just have you kind of doing a lot of busy work, and not really touching the needle moving things. And it's really important when you're picking your strategy, once you know what you want and once you believe that you can have it, it's really important to pick a strategy that doesn't, like, confuse the hell out of you, that you can wrap your head around and understand, like, why it works. And that isn't like enabling you to hide behind a lot of busy work while you're not doing, like, the big scary stuff that's actually going to move you forward and get you there. And unfortunately, a lot of the things out there are like that. And that's just the way it is. So you do have to be, pretty discerning about that, and really think, just really, like, really think about, does this strategy make sense? Is it simple enough to follow? The more steps there are to a strategy, the less likely you are to follow through, and the more places there are to kind of get lost or fail. So I can give you an example from when I help people specifically, like, break into high tech, we follow a pretty simple model. It's like, the first step is to expand your network in the relevant directions as you're refining your relevant direction, because a lot of people, when they come in, they're still in that space where They know the general direction, like I talked about. They have clarity around like how it should feel and stuff like that, but they don't know the specifics of the title that they want, right? So we do those two things in tandem. We get more clarity around that while expanding the network in that direction. Then we do a specific form of like a strategic version of an informational interview, which like you can go back and watch like other videos where I explain this like more in depth. But basically that is what gets you inside kind of like the inner circle of the company. And then we have a simple strategy for how you run the interview once you're in there to really stand out. And all of it is geared towards that. All of it is geared towards making you stand out and not like, not just, you know, filling out a bunch of applications. And so it is pretty simple. It is easy to understand, like, you know, why it's reasonable that it would work. And that's why I use it as my strategy. You know, are there like more things that I could shove in there for them to do? Yeah, but why? You know, like, why would I do that as a coach? Just, I find that like a lot of people do that because a lot of like coaches and consultants, like they have you do extra stuff that's not really necessary because it makes it appear like they have more to offer. But one of the smartest things that I've learned from my mentors, and they modeled this in a really beautiful way, is like keeping it simple is one of the greatest gifts that you can give your clients. And so I really try to, you know, strip it to the very basics of what people need. So you should strive to find something that's the same, like whatever you want to do, whatever it is that you figure out that you want for your dream career, find a strategy that is like almost like feels like bare bones. The experience should be good, right? Like the way that you're treated, you should feel like you're in good hands. But the thing shouldn't feel like it's stuffed with fluff. The process shouldn't feel like it's stuffed with fluff just to make you feel like there's a lot of razzle dazzle in there. Okay. And then the last thing, the fourth pillar, is do everything you can to not lose momentum. You have to keep the momentum going. So a lot of times what will happen is, you know, I'll work with someone for a few weeks. We'll get super clear on what it is that they want. We'll get super clear on, you know, why they can have it. They'll be really confident. They're like amped up. They dumped all their limiting beliefs and they're going after it and they're following a strategy. And then they fall off the wagon and they kind of stop. And I think, you know, I used to kind of, that used to make me really sad as a coach to see that, because I would take it to mean like, you know, I didn't fix them permanently. Like I had this idea that when people got done with me, they wouldn't have to see me ever again, and they wouldn't have to see another coach ever again, and they would just be fixed, like fixed. They're totally perfect. They know now how to do everything. They know how to deal with their mindset issues. They know all the strategy. Like they know everything. They don't need me. They don't need anybody. They're totally self-sufficient. And what I didn't understand was there's a difference between, you know, being independent, being self-sufficient, knowing the things, and then, you know, like knowing it at a level of mastery. Like a few weeks is not enough to be at a level of mastery. It's enough to see some transformation, right? It's enough to get a taste of, wow, like my life is really changing. But it's not enough to undo the years of BS beliefs and behaviors and habits that you have, like that you're bringing with you, right? And so what I came to realize is this doesn't reflect on me as a coach, and this also doesn't reflect on them as a human being or a client. Like they're just human, and the same thing would happen to me if I stopped doing my habits, if I stopped working with my coaches, right? If I am if I plug into something that makes me feel really good and changes my life, and starts giving me the things the results that I want to see in my life, and then I stop doing those things, and my transformation kind of slides back, and my progress kind of slides. That's not because they did anything wrong, and it's not because there's anything inherently wrong with me. It's just like, it's kind of like in fitness, like when you work out and you see results and you're feeling fit, that's not a sign that you should stop doing the work. It's not a sign that you need it, that like, oh, it's cool, we can stop working out now, or we can start eating pizza all day. Like, no, it's actually the opposite. It's a sign that you should keep doing the thing that was making you feel good and making you see your progress. So whatever you're doing that is giving you the results, whatever you're doing that's giving you the transformation, even if it's like a tip of the iceberg, and usually it is, because like I said, we're bringing with us like 20, 30, 40 years of habits and behaviors and beliefs, and the way that we have been and the way that we're used to seeing the world, right? So obviously, the transformation can be very big. Like, it can feel very big. It can change a lot in our reality. But the truth is, it's usually just the tip of the iceberg. And so whatever it is that you're doing that's uncovering that tip of the iceberg for you, keep doing it. Don't stop doing it, whether it's, a habit that you picked up, like meditating or gratitude or whatever, or whether it's like a new group of people, like a community that is uplifting you and motivating you and holding you accountable, right? Or whether it's working with someone, right? Whatever it is that you're doing that is giving you the transformation, you can't stop it. You can't throw it by the wayside, kind of the second you start seeing results, because you will slide. So you have to keep the fourth pillar is like, do everything you can to keep the momentum going. And, in many ways, it's easier that way, right? Like, once you've gotten through like the slog of like getting it started, it kind of, I don't want to say like it works by itself, but it becomes more habitual. It does become a little easier. But if you stop and you let it slide, then it's like, anybody who, I'm experiencing this now. Like, I have taken a break from running for way longer than I want to admit, and now I'm getting back into it. And man, it feels as hard as back when I started. So, so you do want to make sure that it's always easier to keep the momentum than to lose it and then like have to start from scratch. All right. And that's it. So those are the 4 pillars of creating your dream career. Now, if you guys want to talk more about this, if you guys want to have a chat about how you can design your dream career, how you can build that dream career, if you need any help like getting that clarity, or any of those 4 pillars, if you feel like you need support with any of them, then I want to invite you to schedule a call with me. All you have to do is go to adinariel.com/schedule. That goes to my calendar page. You pick a slot that you want, and we will speak on the time that you chose. We'll talk for about 45 minutes, maybe a little bit more sometimes. And what I like to do on these calls is get super clear on 2 main things. Number 1, what are the priorities that you have from your dream career? Like, what are kind of the requirements that you have that you already know? What are the priorities for whatever it is that you want, right? Because sometimes you don't know exactly what you want, but you kind of know what are the priorities. So we talk about that and get very, very clear on it, and that helps you figure out more. And the other thing that we cover is what are some possible next steps for you? What are some things that you can do to start designing that, to start, kind of creating that blueprint and building that dream career. Okay. So if that's something that you want support on, go to dinarella.com/schedule. Call's totally free. And that's it. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.